if a double-decker bus crashes into us. To die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today we're gonna do There Is a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. It's a very beautiful, melancholy song. The Smiths recording is very guitar focused, but I'm going to show you a very satisfying piano arrangement. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. Let's just jump in. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in with the verses. I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords you play line up with the words. So here's the chord progression. First up, we've got a C sharp minor 7. We're gonna play it like this. The right hand's gonna play an E, a G sharp, and a B, while the left hand does the C sharp bass note. The next chord we need is a B6. So the left hand bass note's gonna step down to a B, and then the right hand from where we were, you're just gonna drop that E down to a D sharp. So it's gonna sound like that. And you can see it's just gonna go back and forth between those two chords again. It goes back and forth between those two chords a lot in this song, so maybe just spend some time just feeling out that transition. Then we've got an A chord. So left hand's gonna come down, I'm using my pinky here on an A bass note. And then we're gonna have a C sharp, an E, and an A in the right hand. I'm using 1, 2, and 5 for the fingers. Notice it says major 7 in parentheses. We're gonna do that for this little melody. We can skip that for now, but the A major 7 is just gonna be taking that top note down to a G sharp. Two more chords. We've got an E major chord. The right hand does exactly the same thing it did for the C sharp minor 7. It's just the left hand bass note is actually an E this time. And then finally, we've got a B major chord. So we can come down to the fourth finger on B here in the left hand. Keep that pinky in the right hand on the B, and then we're just gonna come down to a D sharp and an F sharp. 1, 2, 5 for the fingers there. We're in a nice kind of medium 4/4 time. That means that each one of these measures gets 4 counts, and in a lot of cases you'll see 2 chords crammed into the same measure. That just means that each chord gets 2 counts. So I'm gonna play through that line with the counting, and I'm just gonna do quarter note chords in the right hand, so I'm just gonna play on every single count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can kind of start to hear the song emerge. So that's going to be take me out tonight where there's music and so then it repeats. The verses are each just 4 times through that progression. Okay, so I'm gonna start filling out some extra details and rhythms in this part to make it sound a little bit more like the guitar part, including the bass and stuff on the recording. But I just wanna be clear that you can totally just keep it super simple like I was just doing it and do your cover that way, especially if it makes it easier for you to play and sing at the same time. But let's jump into some details. In order to do these details, we're gonna need to be thinking in eighth notes instead of just counting 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna be dividing that beat into 2 parts. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One thing I like to do to make the song feel a little bit more energetic is play the left hand bass notes not only on beat 1 of every measure, but also on the and after 2 and the and after 4. So in the case of the first couple measures of the verse here, it would be like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So you're sometimes hitting those left-hand bass notes in between the spaces where the right hand is just keeping that quarter note pulse. I made a video all about this left-hand pattern. It comes up a lot, so if you want some extra help and practice getting that in your muscle memory, check out that video. So we've got 1, 2, and take me out tonight. So that's where that little major 7 comes in. It's like this little catchy melody that happens, and it's on 1, 2, 3, and. So it's on the and after 3. You can throw that in 1, 2, 3, and. And just to make the rhythm feel like it flows, I'll probably end up hitting beat 4 on the left-hand bass note. So like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then we're gonna go up to that E, and there's this cool little ba 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 that happens there. Here's how it's going to sound the way I'm going to play it. So as soon as we get to that measure with the E and the B in it, the left hand's going to play this melody. E, B, C sharp, B, and that's 1 and 2 and then just holding for 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now the right hand's going to copy that rhythm, and we're going to take that E major chord and kind of split it into two parts. We got the top two notes, the G sharp and the B, and then the bottom note, the E, and we're going to rock back and forth, starting on the higher two notes. 1 and 2, and then on the and after 2, we're going to just drop into that B chord. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. You can hit beat 4 if you want to kind of reestablish that quarter note pulse. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Altogether, it's going to sound like 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Might take a little getting used to if you want to do this. Just drill it a bunch, and then you'll be able to kind of get it in your muscle memory and work it in while you're singing. So before we move on, I'm just going to play, how about the first two lines of that first verse? Take me out tonight, where there's music and there's people and they're young and alive. Driving. So then it goes on. There's another half of that first verse. Then there's a whole nother verse. Then we've got the bridge and the chorus. So let's take a look at those. So the bridge, feels a little weird to call it a bridge. I don't know what else to call it. It's like this little instrumental tag that happens throughout the song. It also is how the song starts. We kind of skipped over it. So it's also the intro. This is what it sounds like. That's it. It's just 2 measures long. So it starts with this F sharp minor 7. So we're going to go all the way down here to do the F sharp as the bass note. And then the right hand is going to do an E, an A, and a C sharp. 2, 3, 4 for a full measure. Then we've got A, just like we were doing it before, just A, C sharp, E, A. Notice the 2 little slashes after the A. I wanted to show that it actually lasts about 3 counts. It's not, this measure is not divided equally between the A and the B6. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then for the B6, you could do it just like we've been doing it before. I feel like it's easier in the flow of this part to not even worry about that high B. We have a low B going on. So just coming from this A, you can just kind of drop these 2 notes down to the sharps that are right below it. A, 2, 3, B6. There's a little bit more rhythm going on there. The F sharp minor 7 does just hold out. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to that A, you're going to hit it on eighth notes. 1 and 2 and. So that's 4 eighth notes before a little eighth note rest. And then when you hit the B6, you can do and 4 or and 4 and. I think on the recording, they actually do and 4 and 3 hits there. I find that a little hard to flow with, and I often end up just doing 2. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But if you like the sound better, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that just happens once, and then you just land right into the chorus. That's going to sound like, and if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. So that is the first half of the chorus here. This is the chord progression. A lot of chords we've already done so far. So we start with that E, same as the E we did in the verses. And then it goes right to the C sharp minor 7. So it's really easy there. You can just keep the right hand where it is. Left hand moves down to that C sharp bass note. Then we've got an A major, just the same way we've been doing it. And that's going to then move a measure later to that A major 7. It's just the top note steps down to the G sharp. And then up to the B, just like we've been doing it. You could use your third finger or your second finger, might fit the shape a little better there. Back up to the E, to the A, just like we've been doing it. Ran out of fingers here. I'm just gonna hop my pinky down to the F sharp for this F sharp minor. That's a little different than the F sharp minor 7 we were doing. So All that changes there between the A and the F sharp minor is that the E in the middle of what the right hand is playing is going to just go up. You can go up to the third finger on the F sharp there. So it's C sharp, F sharp, and A there. And right off the bat, I'm just going to add in that little offbeat left hand rhythm to give it more energy. It's optional if you find it tricky to play and sing. You can skip it. So I'm going to play and sing through that one more time. Just notice that every single one of these chords just lasts one measure. It's not too tricky in terms of the pacing here. And if a double, oh, that reminds me, also the and if the pickup notes that kind of go into the chorus, those kind of happen over the end of the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, and if and then we're in the chorus. Double-decker bus crashes into us. To die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10, then it just repeats back again with different words. One other detail I want to throw in, because the bass line in here is really melodic and I think it's pretty important. So that's going to happen at the end of the measure of A major 7. We've got crashes into us, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. In the left hand, there's this little melody, A, B, C sharp, before it steps down to the B, and that's on 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. Crashes into us, 2, 3, and 4, 1. To die by your side. Yeah, sounds good. And you know what? We have actually at this point learned everything. There's just a few more verses, a few more choruses. Every time there's a chorus, you have one of that little bridge that starts it. And then there's the outro. Now, the outro is just the same thing as the verses. It's just the vocal melody is different. He's just sort of repeating, there is a light and it never goes out. There is a light and it never goes out. And on the recording, it fades out, which is hard to do when it's just you and piano. So I would say repeat that as many times as feels right to you. I'll probably repeat it twice, and then you can just end on a C sharp minor 7. And that's what I'm going to do in my cover. Okay, cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. I'm going to play the whole thing through now so you can see how all these different parts fit together in a complete cover. If you enjoyed this and you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. Click the bell so you know whenever I put out new videos like this. Give it a like, and also let me know in the comments what songs you want to hear next. All right, here's my version of There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. Take me out tonight, where there's music and there's people and they're young and alive. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, 'cause I haven't got one anymore. Take me out tonight, because I want to see people and I want to see lights. Driving in your car, oh please don't drop me home, 'cause that's not my home, it's their home, and I'm welcome no more. A double-decker bus crashes into us. To die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, well, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. Take me out tonight. Oh, take me anywhere, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. And in the darkened underpass, I thought, oh God, my chance is coming. Then a strange fear gripped me and I just couldn't ask. Take me out tonight. Oh, take me anywhere. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, because I haven't got one, la-da-dum. Oh, I haven't got one. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck